service. Our highly trained technicians with over 40 years of experience between them. Groves Auto Service in Arnoldsburg, West Virginia. 304-655-6765. And be sure to check out our Facebook page. It is 2:05, 79 degrees, and sitting here with our buddy Lee Keeton. How we doing, Lee?
We're doing all right.
All right, we do have the camera up. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, and glad to see you again, bud.
It's good to be seen.
You know, we were talking quite a bit before we went on here, and, you know, it's a miracle that you're still with us, and I am so glad that you have pulled through all of your medical conditions so far.
Well, God is great for one. All the grace to God.
Exactly.
And to the doctors and the nurses and the trauma center at Halifax and Daytona Beach, Florida, I want to give them a shout out. Thank you guys. You guys are great.
You know, because that when you had that accident, they weren't sure whether Lee was going to be here or not. So
that's what I was told. I didn't know. So.
Exactly. I am so glad that my brother and my sister-in-law hooked me up with you. It is fantastic. Rick and Sherry, hats off to you.
God bless you.
I've made a lifetime friend here, and we're going to have some fun. So we were talking, and you said that you got 2 more songs to finish mixing, and you'll have the album done?
The album will be complete.
Ha-ha. And, folks, by the way, Country Boy that we're playing and also Thinking About You, those are only able to be heard on WVRC. We have exclusives to those. Those have not been released to any streaming service whatsoever. Lee said, hey, you know, let's take this and put it right at home and keep it here. So we're exclusively on that for a little while, and then he'll release that to all the streaming platforms and other radio stations throughout. But we are exclusive on that and very proud to be. Want to thank you for that 100%. And tell Dave that, too, as well.
Dave's listening.
I know he
That's
probably
Dave's
is.
job, too, not mine.
Exactly. But, you know, my email, I've got all kinds of songs. I've got every song from the album, actually. But, of course, I'm not playing them, but I'm listening to them. They're on my playlist.
There's done enough to listen to, but like I said, 2 more to go. Final mix ready for radio, and the album will match them up, and the album will be complete.
So have y'all been playing anywhere, or just working basically for the album, trying to get it done? And
finishing the album and finishing touches with the band. Been some medical issues here and there. I want to send out prayers for my bass player, Gary Redwine. It's been a long road for him, and with his bout for cancer, and then he had some heart trouble, but they seem to have gotten that straightened out, and he's just getting his energy back, and we'll be back to rehearsal hopefully next week before I go to the Nationals in Georgia for my Combat Vets Motorcycle Association. So,
well, there you go. And now, is that a ride, or?
That is a ride.
Okay.
We're a motorcycle association. We're vets helping vets.
Okay.
And that's what we do. We raise money, everything we do to help other vets or their families as well.
So is that starting out like in Daytona and then going up, or?
Starting out at Daytona and headed up to Athens, Georgia, and then back.
Oh, cool.
Last year, before my wreck, our national was in Minnesota.
Wow.
Me and my XO rode to Minnesota together.
Wow.
We did the Iron Boat. We did 1,000 miles in 17 hours. Then got a hotel and died.
And no doubt in my mind.
Got up the next morning and finished the trip to Minnesota, but we made it all the way to St. Louis from OB's in DeLand, Florida.
Wow. That would be a fun ride, though.
It was a great ride, but I'm glad I did it, you know, and it was a great deal, and now getting my health back, I'm hoping to be able to ride up next week. It'll be my longest ride since the wreck last year.
What's it been? About a month since you were on last time with us. And, you know, you look even better this time around than what you did when you were here a month ago.
And, you know, I had people asking me, man, are you okay? I knew I looked bad. I mean, I lost 40 pounds and 20 days in the hospital. And,
right.
It took a toll. Small, from what I understand, a small minor stroke.
Right.
Blockage of the right artery. Just happened to be on a motorcycle, blacked out in a curve, and
not fun at all.
Tumble, and everybody said, that must have hurt. I said, I don't know. I didn't.
Don't remember it.
Don't remember anything. Thank God I don't remember anything. So,
yeah.
Now, the pain recovery after that was pretty intense, but
I bet.
I've been in pain before, so hopefully that's the end of all that.
Yep. So did you salvage the bike, or did you?
I wanted to, but State Farm said it cost more than the bike was worth, so they gave me double what I could have, you know, fixed it for, but they couldn't fix it for that. But they don't just give money out to for you to fix it. So.
Right.
So anyway, I got another one. Same year, Victory cross country 8-ball, love it. Great bikes.
Right.
Great bikes. It wasn't the bike, Dad. He's in heaven looking down at me. And Mom and my daughters, they're mad at me because I bought another motorcycle, but it wasn't a bike. Like if I'd have been in my truck and blacked out like that, I could have, man, I got a big truck, so I could have really hurt somebody other than myself.
Yeah, your truck sets up pretty good. That's a nice truck.
I'm just glad it worked out the way it worked out.
So, you know, we briefly touched on your musical background the last time you were on with us. Go ahead and tell folks what your journey has been as a musician.
Well, I started as a little boy, and my dad, his Marine Corps buddies were hanging out, drinking beer, and Johnny Cash would come on and say, "Boy, sing that song." So I'd sing it, and they'd all, yeah. And I always loved music, and I grew up country, and one day my mom was taking me to bowling in North Carolina, and I heard that song by Leonard Skinner, "Simple Man."
Great song, by the way.
One day I'm going to sing that song for you. And we were just touching on that one day. Gilly's Pub 44 back in the day.
Yeah.
When Gilly owned it, Bike Week, and I actually sang that song in front of 5,000 people to my mom. So that was an awesome time. I started out with Cheap Thrills Band after I got home from the Army. From that to Getting Even Steven, and a little brief. I took a little time off, was supposed to go on the road with an old Southern rock band. They couldn't get a hold of me during Hurricane Andrew, and they got somebody else, and he was with them for 30 years, the Molly Hatchet Band. And after that, came back, the band called The Zone, and then a great band called Scared Straight, great originals. I think we still have 3 songs on YouTube. You have to look them up. But and then after that, some buddies of mine from South Florida, Mistreater, great guys, man, and still brothers with all of them. And stop and see my brother Tony in South Carolina, way up here and the way back. Cuts the trip in half, and it's
right.
And I don't even have to go through Charlotte. But shout out to my brother Lisa, my brother Tony and Lisa, and Ruger and Xena the Wolf. See you guys on the way back. And one day went into a band after that called Flirting with Disaster, which was a original Molly Hatchet tribute band. 3 guitars, the whole deal. Great band, great musicians. And then COVID.
Right.
And Pat Armstrong said to Jack and I one day in his office, write a country song. So Jack wrote a song called Half My Heart, and brought it back to him. He said, I love it, write some more. And
which is on streaming, by the way, right?
It is on streaming on our YouTube, and we're on YouTube with Half My Heart, and I Salute You is also on streaming.
And folks, by the way, I salute you. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I salute you. If you go on YouTube and watch that video, if it doesn't bring a tear to your eye, you're dead. That's all I can say.
You're not an American patriot, I'll tell you.
Exactly, because I cried all the way through it.
Since you brought that up, when Jack and I were putting the song together in rehearsal studio over at Sandy and Bobby's, we would get choked up, couldn't even get halfway through the song. We made it verse by verse by verse because we couldn't make it through the song. Then finally we got through the song, but it's still pretty emotional because it's about our dads and all of our fallen heroes. So.
Right.
Plus all the active and reserves, and my daughter, she's Army veteran as well, love her to death, and it's for all you vets out there, all of you. And by the way, Vietnam vets, welcome home.
Exactly.
So,
nobody ever welcomed them back home.
my dad got spit on coming
That's
home.
it. That's it. I've talked to several vets that have had that happen. And, my oldest brother was a career Air Force retired. And he spent a couple tours in duty in Nam. And hats off to him.
God bless him.
Been through a lot. And a lot of stuff he don't talk about.
Nope.
And probably never will.
My dad neither, so. But and even though the ones that came home,
yeah,
they really didn't come home inside, so.
Right.
So.
But, hats off to all of our former and present military personnel.
Absolutely.
Men and women. They keep us free and keep us being able to say and do what we want.
Absolutely.
With our own freedom.
And happy birthday, Army, 250.
Exactly, 250th.
And that parade, by the way, wasn't about Trump.
Yeah.
It was they already put in for permits with the last administration, and they approved it. So
yeah,
it
that was put in
back in the Biden administration.
Like
so
2 years ago, something like that.
Exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not political, but just
right.
moving on. I want to clear the air about that.
Yeah, but our military is very strong.
Very strong.
If you stop and think about it, we're very fortunate to have the men and women that serve and protect us.
Dedication.
Exactly.
You love your country when you put that uniform on.
Exactly.
And when I got out, in '86, a part of me was lost. And was in a group called Messengers for Homeless Vets.
Right.
And we raised money and took vets in Volusia County off the streets. In that time, I met the combat vets that actually donated money to us. But that gave me a sense of esprit de corps again to be around these people and hear their stories.
Well, speaking of that, people don't realize how many of our vets are homeless. There's a lot.
It shouldn't be.
And it shouldn't be. Exactly. I've got my beliefs on that. I won't go into it on the air, but we'll talk about it later.
Absolutely.
But it should never happen. I mean, that man or woman that has served and protected this country should never, ever worry about where their next meal's coming from or where they're going to lay their head at night.
Amen.
That's my opinion.
Amen.
So, I just, I get a little bit aggravated and emotional over that. So, that's something that I'll argue until the day I die.
Don't get me wrong now, and in the Messengers of Homeless Vets, we had people that we helped, and some of them didn't want our help.
Right.
I mean, to be honest, some didn't want our help.
Right.
So, and you just say, okay, if you do, here's a card, call us.
Exactly. Give us a call if you ever need us.
That's all. So
that's all you can do. But you said that you're getting ready for the 2 rides, and you've got the last 2 songs, so you got to be excited about getting that album completed and getting it out there.
It's been a 4-year project, and I'm counting this last year.
Right.
Because last year didn't count because I couldn't do anything, and we're just getting back to it. So
well,
it was a 4-year deal. So it started 5 years ago, but it was a 4-year deal. So off and on.
But the new song, the other new song that we're playing, which is Thinking About You, the young lady, like I said, hats off to you for discovering this young lady. She is awesome. And I know the first time that I played that on the station here, Dave had got a hold of her so that she could hear it. And she was just, I guess, very emotional, and hats off to her. Keep working, young lady. You've got it.
Allison Barker Ring.
I couldn't remember it.
I met her quite a few years ago on a karaoke night in a little bar down there at friends of ours own, Nina and Jeff. And they used to own Winners, and she was singing karaoke, and I just stood there and went, wow, what a voice. And I introduced him. She introduced me. I said, what a great voice. And she introduced me to her fiance, Cody, and we became friends. Never thought about it. And I said, when we came up with this duet, we did have somebody else singing. She had a great voice too, but just something didn't. Anyway,
chemistry wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was that, but I said, let me just try it. Let's try a couple of people. And she came in and blew the song away, and everybody's like, wow, okay, I think that'll work.
Yep, I totally agree. She's got a very wonderful voice, puts herself out there, and, keep working. That's all I can say.
Her husband now, Cody.
Yeah.
Got her in the band now, duet, and we're going to put her right over here so everybody can look at her and don't look at us.
Exactly.
Anyway,
she's the eye candy for the band.
Just keep the camera on her, not us.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
You got to have fun with it, man. So.
Exactly. But I know you've got a lot of history within Calhoun and Roane County. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, all the years coming up here for family reunions at the down there 4-H campground, Camp Shepherd.
Right.
And we started out on the family farm out there with the first couple of family reunions, everybody pitching tents.
Right.
Out in the meadow, and that was just great. Those memories you as little kids, and you meet all your cousins, and everybody's cooking on open fire and Skittles or iron Skittles, with eggs and just bacon and right in the bacon grease, and
right.
Just that's the way it was done. Then started going down there, and we did 40 years, family reunions down there at the campground, and
right.
As the elders got older, and now seems to be we're the elders now, and kids and coming up grandkids. And,
exactly.
And hopefully we'll be able to keep that going. Just people got old and sick and dying off, and so I'm hoping we can put one together, just get everybody back together, and so the new cousins can meet the new cousins and try to keep that going.
Right. So, but your mother was born and raised right here in Roane County.
Right here. My mom, she was a Westfall, and
right.
All the way from my Uncle Larry, all the way up to my Uncle Arden, Bob, Aunt Norma, Aunt Shirley, Aunt Rita, Peggy, Bud, Bob, and my mom, Donna. They had a big family.
Yeah.
I guess my grandpa died when my mom was 5.
Right.
So she really didn't even know her dad, And my grandpa, Keeton, he was from over in Calhoun County.
Right.
And married to a Jarvis.
Right.
That was my grandma, Roma. And she used to own a bake shop down in Clendenin for years, Roma's Bake Shop.
Okay.
That was a long time ago when I was a little boy come up. And she owned it for quite a few, I'd say 10, 15 years, maybe more.
Right.
But anyway.
But, yeah, we're all the time saying, when we introduce one of your songs, we're all the time saying, local ties, folks, his mother was born and raised here in Roane County, and Lee has got property over in the motherland, over in Calhoun.
Love it.
And we're glad to have him as a Hooner as well.
I'm a Hooner.
Exactly.
I'm a Seminole Hooner.
Exactly.
I know.
But, we're always saying, you're from down in Daytona area, and but you do have local ties. So we're glad to have got you on the station, and it's a great addition to our up-and-coming platform that we're playing. So
it's an honor. It's an honor to be here. And thank you, Rick and Sherry Butts.
Yep. If it wouldn't have been for Rick and Sherry, I'd have never known. And they told me, hey, you got to listen to this guy. And I got all excited. First song I listened to, I was just, okay, how do I get a hold of him?
So great.
We've been doing this, Drew and I have been doing this up-and-coming platform ever since he bought the station. So I guess we're on 4 years now. And it's like we've both got the same taste in music as the way we look at it. And within the first 20 seconds of a song, we can tell you whether we like the person or not. And, the first time I hit the play button, he went, okay, what are we putting on first?
That was our whole theory of putting them out. Okay,
yeah.
Which one do we put out first?
Right.
Because you're partial to your songs, and then when I started
they're your babies.
And then when we started playing them for people, they were like, wow, man, pretty good. And I'm talking about just a scratch track, just a guitar and vocals. That was it.
Right.
And you just felt something was there, and you feel that still. And, with Studio Live USA and Dave Michaels down in Oviedo, Florida, we went in there and put these songs together, and him as the guitar player, keyboard player, and the bass player, Gary, had come in, and the new addition now with Jerry running on all the guitar. Of course, the man behind the drums, behind the scene, Jack West, back there,
right,
pounding on them skins and playing guitar too.
And he's responsible for helping write some stuff too, right?
Jack's the main songwriter. Period.
Exactly.
He's the man can write a song in 10 minutes. It's amazing. Because I think our last count, we got 75 songs written total.
Wow.
I think 13 or 14 track, 9 done.
Wow.
Again, if it wasn't for our guitar player, engineer, keyboard player, backup singer, banjo, mandolin player, it would be 3 times the cost that we have in them right now. And
exactly.
we got quite a few dollars in them right now. So.
And y'all just got a brand new board in the studio too. So
Dave Michaels did.
Yes. Yeah.
They're figuring it out.
Yep. I know the remix that they did of the one song, I like it better on the new board. It sounds better, I thought.
It's not as loud, I guess.
It's not.
It's more...
a little more compressed.
It is.
It's a little more compressed, but not too much.
No. Yeah.
So it gives you the whole feel, and you got the warmth coming off of it as well. So it's a good mix.
That goes out to Dave Brody and Dave Michaels.
Exactly.
They work their butts off on them.
I know Dave, he'll call me and listen to this, see what you think.
We want people's opinion.
Exactly.
We want more ears than just ours.
Exactly.
And if it's not a finished product, then you're not hurting anything by going back in and going, yeah, you're right. Okay, I hear that now. Or when you're in there for 3 to 6 hours, you get so fatigued, and you wouldn't realize that.
And you second guess yourself on what it actually sounds like.
Exactly. And you become numb to it. You can't hear it anymore. And you literally got to walk away and come back.
And get that third party out that's completely away from it. Hey, take a listen, see what you think.
Cut a CD, take it, put it in your car. Listen, let somebody else listen to it.
Right.
Ears don't lie.
Exactly.
People may not be able to go in a control room and mix it, but their ears don't lie.
Well, it was like when they were first playing with that new board, Dave called me and he said, what do you think of this? I said, sounds good, but why don't you try this? And he did, and he said, you're right.
Well, that's, more input.
Yeah.
So.
But, we're so glad to have you as part of the station, and all I can say is keep them coming. Keep them coming.
It's an honor to be
Keep
here.
feeding us. We'll be playing them all.
We got more coming.
Exactly.
You got the rest of them. We just haven't been able to, we're not putting them out yet, so soon.
Let's take a quick break here, and we'll play Country Boy for them. What do you think?
That sounds great.
And let me get it loaded up here. But this is probably, next to I Salute You, is one of my favorites, is this song.
Have you heard Big Blow yet?
Yes, I have. I like it too. I like it too. But this is still one of my favorites. Here is Country Boy by the Lee Keeton Band.
I like country in my country, rock in my roll. I like pretty girls with pretty smiles and a whole lot of soul. Been all over the USA, but there's something about the South. It's in the air, it's everywhere, can't seem to live without. I've been up north, I've been out west, I live in the east. Man, I'm a country boy, living on the southern plain. I live down in Florida, mighty fine place to be. Got friends in Alabama and up in Tennessee. How about those Georgia peaches so dang hot, hot, hot? Give me down home music, give me all you got. I've been up north, I've been out west, I live in the east. But man, I'm a country boy, living on a southern plain. Been to New York City, San Francisco, Santa Fe. Mighty fine people, they're gonna go back someday. But when it comes to where I live, you gotta understand. I'm a country boy, living on a southern plain. Got mountains in Kentucky, West Virginia, they got shine. Even up in Boston, they sing Sweet Caroline. Love that Leonard Skinner and rocking out the hang. And did I mention those pretty girls in tight blue jeans and tanks? I've been up north, I've been out west, I lived in the east. But man, I'm a country boy, living on a southern plain. I'm a country boy, living on a southern plain. I'm a country boy, living on a southern plain. I'm a country boy, living on a southern plain. I'm a country boy, living on a southern plain. Whoa!
The Lee Keeton Band and Country Boy right here at Mountain Country 104.7. And
We thank you.
Lee's on the phone, had a caller call in and talking
Thanks,
about
sir. You
Country
have a
Boy.
good
And we let him take the call and talk to him. And what do you think of that, bud?
Well, it was my first phone call. That was awesome. He said He loves country music. He said that song just rips. He said he loved it.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's what we want to hear. That's what we were hoping and praying for. That right there, that response right there.
Well, you know, it was like the first time that I ever played.
Cecil out there, thank you.
Exactly. Cecil Boggs. That's what come up anyway.
Yep.
But when the first time that I played Country Boy on the air, I told people, give me a call. Let me know whether you like it or you don't like it.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter. We just like to know. And I had about 7 calls within about 2 minutes. People, love it, love it, love it. And they just hang up, you know. Had a guy call from down in Jackson County, and he was all excited about it. He said, this is great. And this guy's local? I said, well, part of the time. I said, yes, he has property in Calhoun, and he comes up. But occasionally he is in Florida as well. So, but we're very fortunate to be able to play your music. And once again, thanks to my brother and my sister-in-law. They got me turned on to your music, and I'll stay there.
Thank you all. It's just been a blessing for sure.
But that's how we get most of our up-and-coming artists on our platform is people will come up to us, hey, have you ever heard this person? And we'll look them up and make a decision. And it wasn't hard the minute we heard your stuff.
Who's this young lady on the wall right there? Got that signed over there. Is that Lainey Wilson?
That is Lainey Wilson. She was one of our very first up-and-coming artists on our platform.
Look at her now.
And she played here in Spencer for a 4th of July celebration right before, I mean literally right before she exploded onto the scene. And very, very nice young lady. And, you know, we've got other artists hanging on the wall as well. And by the way, if you guys ever do a band picture, we want one so that we can put up.
We have one, and we will work on that for you for sure.
Yeah. And that way we can have it up on the wall.
Dave's already heard you.
I'm sure he probably has. He's probably saying, okay, I got to get this done tomorrow.
Add it to your list, Dave.
Exactly, Dave. That's what you get paid the big bucks for. He'll shoot me for saying that.
He's laughing right now.
Probably. But we're having fun. That's all that matters.
Having a good time.
Exactly. But
I love coming up to my place out in Calhoun once a month, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I get up here once a month. So.
But my brother said that he swung by your place the other day before you got up and said that you had a little bit of a slip on your road there.
Yeah, I was worried about it last time I left, but so far it hadn't moved no more.
It hadn't? Okay. He wasn't sure if it had or not. He said it had been a while.
I guess back fall, had a good deluge out there. And I lost the back part of, slipped out in the road, and covered the road completely down there on Rouse Run.
Right.
I guess they scooped it up and took it up there to Anna Maria and built them a new parking lot out of it. There went all my dirt.
Yep, there you go. Say, you can bring that back up here.
I told him to. He was like, no, we can't do that. So I'm like, all right. But
that's it.
Bless him, clean that mess up. It was a mess, too. So, and praying for them people up north in West Virginia.
I'll tell you, they're all over the place. I mean, up near Wheeling, over around Fairmont and Clarksburg, Bridgeport area. They were hit pretty hard. In Fairmont, they had a complete apartment complex that just ripped the whole back off the building.
Unreal.
And, you know, it was unbelievable. And there was a lady that had a video up. She was standing in her front yard watching the creek across the road from her house. It was up a little bit, and she said, you know, that looks like it's still raising. Within 5 minutes, it was across the road and about 2 foot up on her mailbox.
It comes fast.
Yeah. those flash floods like that, you know,
I've been through
you can't prepare for it.
hurricanes and tornadoes, and
Yeah.
missed the flash flood out there, but I've heard some real humdingers come through that holler, boy.
Yep.
And when it rains, it comes down.
Yep. It can around here. It can come down pretty hard and drop a lot of water in a short period of time.
I said 4 inches in 30 minutes.
Exactly.
That's a lot of rain.
It is. It is. And I know my brother said that over in your area, it looked like there was a lot of places where he could see that the water had been pretty high and been moving pretty quick.
I saw it coming in. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get to my place. But Rick had already told me, checked it out. So.
Right.
And I have great neighbors too. They always keep an eye on my place for me. And, well, I didn't realize, when I got here, that I said, well, I'm kin to the Jarvises out there in Calhoun.
Right.
And your nephew said, well, that means you kin to half the folk out here. And I said, well, sucks if I want to get a girlfriend up here. They said, we don't count it after third generation. Oh man, that's so golly days.
That sounds like Chris.
Yeah, that was funny, boy.
But I'm going to pull up Thinking About You, and we're going to wrap this thing up and put a bow on it.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me. Here is the Lee Keeton Band, and Thinking About You. We'll be back in a second, and we'll wrap this thing up.
I've been thinking about you, only thing I do. Can't get you off of my mind, think about you all the time.
Something tells me to run away onto something new, but every time I think I may, I just start thinking about you.
I've been thinking, hope you're thinking, that's about you and me. Baby, can you see?
Well, hey, baby, I might be crazy, but I've been thinking too. I can't stop thinking about you.
I'm a little hard to handle. Don't think I'm ever gonna change.
I don't think it.
But living without you, baby, is driving me insane.
Well, I said it before and I'll say it again, and we both know it's true. The way we treated each other before, we gotta stop before we're through.
I've been thinking, hope you're thinking, how's about you and me? Baby, can you see?
Well, hey, baby, I might be crazy, but I've been thinking too. I can't
about you.
Sitting over there playing the drums, I saw you.
Love it.
We've had a lot of fun today. Can't wait till the next time. But maybe get some of the guys up with you next time, and
Hopefully we can do that next time.
and bring a guitar in here and do a couple live.
We'd have to bring a couple. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think I'll run up to Parkersburg and then out to Bob and Jane's out there in Stone Highway.
There you go.
We got steak night tonight. Maybe have me a steak and come back around to the old holler.
There you go. Well, buddy, I appreciate you coming in and wasting all your time with us. But
All I got is time, thank God.
exactly, thank God.
Good time.
Exactly. Exactly. But so you're headed back to Florida here before long, and then getting ready to make those rides. Be safe on those.
Back to Florida by Monday and then to Georgia by Friday. So
Well, be safe on those rides
thank you.
and have a lot of fun. And we'll keep playing them.
We appreciate it. If you see a vet out there, just thank them for their service.
Exactly.
If a Vietnam vet out there, tell them welcome home.
Exactly. Well, Lee, buddy,
Thank you, man. It was an
thank
honor.
you.
Absolute honor.
And we will definitely keep playing Lee's songs. And like he said, he's about 2 songs away from getting those mixed and mastered. And then we'll have the full album. Actually, folks, I've got it. But like I said, you can't hear it. Not yet, anyway.
Psych, though. It's coming, though.
Exactly. Coming soon.
Coming soon.
To WVRC. All right. Thanks, Lee. Here is the Zach Brown Band. And, well, wait a minute. I've got to play a commercial so that the
Pay your bills.
YouTube police does not kill us. We've got to do that so that YouTube doesn't have a fit over us playing music. We'll be right back.
The pre-owned deals continue at Jack Garrett Ford. Set your sights on savings when you come in this week. Markdowns include a 20 Ford Escape S all-wheel drive, $17,900.